Okay, so in the previous tutorial we have seen how we can set up our building classes. So now let's see how we can create a character class as well, because the behavior what I want to perform is like a worker will be spawned at a specific resource building, and he will search for the resources that will be available on the map, and will try to harvest those resources and bring back to the resource building. So that's the behavior. So in order to achieve that, I'm going to create a worker character, right? So again, I'm going to follow much more generic fashion. Therefore, if you need to add any other characters later on to the game, you can easily add those stuff, like let's say citizens, or maybe soldiers, or maybe animal characters. Likewise, you can add any sort of character to your game. So you can do that. Maybe let's create a new folder called characters, and let's create this folder. Within that folder, let's create a character actor or character class, because it will automatically inherit the features related to movements as well. So let's create a character, and I'll name this as VP character base. Let's open it out, and I will close all the other windows because I don't need those stuff. Okay, now we can add a character skeletal mesh to our character base class. So if you go into the props folder, RTS game starter kit, low poly assets, and characters, here I have included all the necessary stuff that you want to add a character to your game. So we have a farming girl, and we have a lumber, and we have a miner, right? So all of these skeletal meshes are inherited by a single base character skeleton, right? So what's the advantage of having this sort of a skeleton is like, then we can reuse these animations, right? So I have added several set of animations. So if I open one animation and go to the skeleton tree, here you can see that it's the exact same skeleton tree that we have in the base character, right? But this skeleton characters mesh can be changed. So if you go to the same base character, it can be a farming girl. So you will see by default automatically the exact same animation will be used, right? Or you can use a lumber mesh, or maybe miner. Any mesh you can use, because we are using exact same skeleton, right? So I think that will be a good practice, because you don't need to have redundant animations all over the place. But if we have a one specific skeleton that will assign all the generic animation types, we can easily change this preview mesh, which is a skeletal mesh, right? So that's the brief explanation about characters. So as I said before, I'm going to start with base character mesh, then later on we can customize it to other characters as well. So let's go to the mesh and assign this base character mesh to our class, character base class. But I think the scaling is again bit massive. So let's scale it down. 0.65, 0.6, no, maybe 0.65, 0.65, and the location maybe -90, and rotation also should be 90. Let's compile and say it again. Okay, now I can place this character blueprint in the map, and it will look like this. Again, it's a bit massive compared to the other these building classes, so maybe I will further reduce the size. Let's say 0.4, 0.4, 0.4. Okay, now the character is in the correct size. But I think instead of manually manipulating our mesh like that, I'll undo all the changes, because you can see that if I manually reduce the scale only to the mesh, our capsule component still remains same, right? I don't think that's good, because in the collision testing and stuff like that, usually this capsule component should match with the exact size of the, or at least approximate size of the mesh. So the best way we can achieve that is I will undo the scaling as the previous value, and instead of manually manipulating this specific mesh, I will reduce the scale of this capsule component. Now you can see the mesh is automatically fit for that capsule component as well, right? Okay, now we have this character in the map. And for the animations, I will create a separate animation blueprint in the next tutorial, but for now, just for the demonstration purposes, I will use the anim idle animation as the default animation. Okay, now you can see our character is there. Maybe we can rotate it a bit further, and if I try to play, you can see our character is in the map. Also, it's playing the idle animation. Great. So likewise, I can create other characters as well. So let's save everything, and I will create another folder called workers, and again for the workers I will create a base class, which is a parent class for all the workers, and it should inherit from the character base. Make sure to choose BP character base and select it, and I'll name this as worker base. Okay, so we have that worker class, and by inheriting that I can create other types of workers. So BP worker base, and the first worker will be a farmer. So I'll open that out, and instead of using this mesh, I can use farming girl mesh. Okay, and let's place it here. So this is just a base mesh. Okay. Okay. We have a farmer, and I'll save everything, and let's duplicate, and let's create maybe BP lumber. Okay. Okay, I think the farmer should be near a farm, or this barn assets. And for the lumber, I can select a lumber, compile, save, place it on the map, maybe rotate it. Okay, and finally we can create BP minor. Oh, I spelled it. BP minor and static mesh. Oh no, the skeleton mesh should be sk minor, compile, save, place it on the map. Okay, I'll rotate it as well. Great. Now we have all the characters set up successfully. So maybe I can simulate it just for playtest. Okay, so here you can see they are properly playing their animations and their scalings are correct, and yeah, they are pretty much fine, I guess. But yeah, I have added, for now I have added just idle animation manually, but that is not the intended way. It's better we can create a separate animation class to manipulate the animations related to or control the animations related to these sort of characters. So I think in the next tutorial I will show you how we can do that. But yeah, for now I think everything is fine, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.